A silence louder than words. Without a warning. Without a farewell. Without even the faintest explanation. Lee Min-ho, the face of modern Korean romance, has just deleted every photo, every caption, every trace that once linked him to the Queen of Elegance, Song Hye Kyo. No interviews. No statements. Just a quiet erasure that echoed like a thunderclap across the hearts of millions. It was a deletion that felt like a breakup. And yet, no one even knew for sure what they were, until now. But fans, the ones who had been watching, sensing, believing, they knew something had been there. A hidden connection. A whispered love. A bond stronger than words. And now? That chapter might be closed. But before we uncover every detail of this unraveling mystery, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because in the world of Korean stars, every breath is a storyline, and every silence hides 1,000 emotions. When eyes spoke louder than announcements. Long before the rooftops and matching scarves, long before the lyrics and poetic captions, there was a moment, just a glance, that sparked something impossible. It happened during a global fashion event in Paris. Lee Min-ho walked in, suave, sharp, draped in a navy trench coat with that unmissable presence. Song Hye Kyo arrived minutes later, grace in motion, dressed in a soft cream ensemble, her elegance filling the room like the final note of a love song. They didn't pose together. They didn't sit beside each other. But there was one camera angle, one accidental capture, that changed everything. In the background of a blurry photo, fans saw it, Lee Min-ho, turning his head, eyes fixed gently on her. Not in desire. Not in lust. But in admiration. That look. It wasn't the kind of look you give a colleague. It was the kind of look you give someone who makes time stop. From that moment on, fans began noticing more. A romance hidden between the lines. Lee Min-ho, known for his cinematic flair, began posting quieter content. No designer shoots. No flash. Just books. Coffee mugs. Window views. Sunsets. And then Song Hye Kyo started doing the same. A reflection in a teacup. A hallway mirror showing two shadows. A scarf with a pattern that fans had seen in his story, just days before. They weren't confirming anything. But they weren't denying it either. It was subtle. Intimate. Like watching two people fall in love in real time, but only if you looked closely enough. And the fans? They looked. They matched time zones. They translated captions. They found shared books, lyrics, locations, and soon, a quiet love story began to emerge in their minds. They weren't screaming, "We're together." They were whispering. We understand each other in a world that rarely understands us. The rooftop sunset that shook the world. It wasn't meant to be a declaration. But in the world of digital romance, it was nothing short of a love letter. Lee Min-ho posted a photograph of a rooftop at golden hour. Two coffee cups side by side. A gentle pink hue painting the sky. A blurry reflection, a figure beside him, barely visible in the windowpane. The caption? Some sunsets speak without words. And that's all it took. Within minutes, fans flooded the post. He never posts like this. This is special. That's her. You can feel it. This is the softest love story I've ever seen. The rooftop photo became iconic. It wasn't a kiss. It wasn't a holding of hands. But it was real. Real enough to make people believe that behind all the glamour, two souls had found each other. Pieces of a puzzle too precious to ignore. After the rooftop, the clues multiplied. A poem about healing appeared in Song Hye Kyo's story. A day later, Lee Min-ho posted a page from the same poetry book. A photo of a vintage record player on her feed. 3 days later, he shared lyrics from the very same song. They weren't just matching aesthetics. They were syncing emotions. And then came the handwritten notes. Short lines scribbled in Korean, sometimes French, sometimes English. Hye Kyo wrote, "I didn't know peace until I stopped searching." Lee Min-ho, days later. "I wasn't looking when I found you." These weren't just captions. These were conversations without responses. A dialogue between two hearts in the open, yet completely hidden. The disappearance that felt like a death. It happened suddenly. No rumors. No scandals. Just a quiet void. Fans woke up to find that the rooftop photo, gone. The coffee mug, gone. The scarves, the lyrics, the books, all gone. Lee Min-ho's Instagram had been wiped clean of any emotional breadcrumb that hinted at Hye Kyo. It wasn't accidental. It was too clean. Too exact. Too final. His next post? A solitary mountain peak, covered in snow, with no caption. It felt like heartbreak. Not just for them, but for all of us who had come to believe in the beauty of something unspoken. Hye Kyo's heartbreaking response. While the internet was still trying to catch its breath, she responded. Not with an interview. Not with drama. With a story. An image, a lonely path through an autumn forest. Leaves falling gently, like tears that had waited too long to fall. And beneath it, one line. Some walks must be taken alone. That was all. But that was enough. Her silence became louder than a press release. Her sadness, more poetic than any script. And just like that, fans knew. She had seen his erasure. She had felt it. And she was letting go, too. A source speaks, and the truth comes out. Korean media, ever watchful, finally released a quote from a source close to both stars. They never needed the world to understand. But not every love survives the weight of timing. There was something real there. There still is. But sometimes, love isn't enough when the world around you keeps pulling you apart. It wasn't a confirmation. But it wasn't a denial. And it was everything fans needed to hear. It wasn't imagined. It wasn't a fantasy. It was a connection that bloomed in silence, lived in fragments, and now exists only in memory. Why the world fell in love with their love. People didn't just love them together. They loved how they loved. Quietly. Softly. Privately. No attention seeking. No PR stunts. Just two stars who seemed to find light in each other's shadow. They represented something rare. A mature love. A healing love. The kind of love that says, I see all your past. And I'm still here. And now, without them even saying a word, it was gone. And the silence was louder than any scandal. The internet responds, with tears, not hate. Instead of rage or trolling, the internet responded with love. Fan accounts created montages. YouTube channels played soft piano music over their old posts. Twitter was flooded with farewell poems. Some fans wrote, "It felt like watching a drama unfold in real life. And I'm heartbroken it ended. Maybe it wasn't forever. But it was beautiful while it lasted." They gave us a different kind of love story, the kind that doesn't need to be seen to be felt. Is this the end? Or just a new beginning? No one knows if this is goodbye. No one knows if they'll return to each other again. But one thing is certain. They didn't need the world's approval. They didn't need headlines. They had something real, even if it lived only in shadows. Maybe they were lovers. Maybe they were soulmates passing through. Maybe they were simply two stars that aligned for a brief moment in history. But for the fans? It was enough to believe that sometimes, love doesn't need to be loud. Sometimes, the greatest stories are the ones whispered, not told. In the silence, a story we'll never forget. They never stood hand in hand at events. They never shared interviews about us. But they shared something deeper. A connection. A rhythm. A story. And for those of us who watched it unfold, we will always remember the quiet moments. The hidden signs. The love that wasn't official, but was absolutely, heartbreakingly real. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Because in the world of K-drama stars, even silence speaks volumes. And who knows? Maybe this wasn't the end. Maybe the next episode is still coming. Written not in posts, but in the quiet places where only two hearts can hear each other. Stay tuned.